Hello, welcome to another sexy, thrilling episode of One for the Table.
That was so erotic.
Oh yeah, you're into that?
I am. I like
Some
whisper
fucked up
ASMR.
kinks, bro. I am your host, Kim Chi.
And I am John Kung.
Hello, John. Tell the listeners where you are at right now.
I'm in Provincetown, and it is amazing. It's actually like the off season right now, but the weather's really nice, so it's just really quiet out here, and it's beautiful, and I love it.
What's P-Town like during off season?
Just quiet, and it's mostly local people, and it's like, you know, the normal thing. Like, so if you've never been to P-Town, this is Provincetown, Massachusetts. It's this tiny oceanside town that is very, very quaint and very cute and very gay, also very affluent, but like it's just beautiful here, and it's a very popular summertime vacation spot for queer people.
Then during
There's like
summer, they have like different weeks. They have like Family Week, Bear Week, like Circuit Week.
all sorts of like all the different flavors and cross sections of gay culture. They all have like times here where they pretty much come over and party in the sun and by the sea, and it's beautiful. But it's definitely like a tourist place where it gets really, really sleepy when the weather is not warm. So it's also a very popular, or has been historically a very popular destination for artists. So like Jackson Pollock used to hang out here. All the New York great artists used to come up here. Also, Anthony Bourdain used to come here in the summer and work.
Nice.
Bringing it back to food. Yeah.
My favorite thing about P-Town is like also like the entertainment culture there.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see a lot of like comedians and drag queens like on the street, some like hawking tickets to their show, which is like the culture there. And a lot of them have like a residency in like the Little Theaters, and you could see probably up to like 3 shows a night if you like wanted to.
Easily.
Like you just buy the tickets, you go into these like little theaters, and then a lot of them do like an hour or 2 like stand up, like variety show things.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of like classic cabaret acts. There's singing. There's like a lot of Broadway throwbacks, because P-Town is also like, when it's not packed full of tourists, I think it's an older gay population. So like, you know, they've got classic those older gay tastes, which frankly I resonate with a great deal, because I love me like some show tunes.
Because you're old.
I am. Shut up. Am old. I am.
John may not look it, but he's old, everybody. It's okay. It's not your fault you're old.
Thanks, Kim.
But also, one of my favorite memories of like pizza. So, John and I think it was actually one of the first trips we took together. We went to P-Town together.
2016.
If you're planning on like going on P-Town on vacation, like obviously, like you have to rent out your space in advance, because everybody goes to P-Town in the summer. So, like, there's not that many options if you're booked late.
Very few options for lodging here.
And like, we managed to book like a part of a house.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was like one room.
It was like a
that,
guy's
we booked.
sunroom.
Yeah, the sunroom.
It was like a guy's sunroom.
With a pull-out bed.
Yeah, 2 pull-out beds, or 1 pull-out bed and 1 like big couch. I think I slept on a big couch. It was so much fun. Like, that house was perfectly what we needed, just like a place for us to chill and sleep. And then we got to explore like the whole like Provincetown area. And it was like super kitschy and touristy and cute. But at the same time, there were like tea dances. There were lots of drag acts, as we said before. And then there's lots of like nature. We went to the dunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like biked around a lot, which was also really fun.
Mm-hmm.
You can like rent bikes everywhere.
And I highly recommend, if you ever come here if you're here for any more than like 2 days, you should definitely get a bike, because it's just like a 1.5 to 2 mile strip. That's how long Provincetown is. But like, everything's at the other end of each other. So there's a lot of walking back and forth. So a bike makes things a lot easier. I'm here for the week, so I definitely rented one.
Like, what are your, like, with family, or what are your, with your gay friends? I feel like you never run out of things to do. Like, you know, you could go see a show, or you could, like, go to the restaurants, you could check out the shops, or you can get, like, naughty and, like, go down by the docks at night and then, you know.
Oh, my God.
Do the things that people do. You could go to, like, those rooms if you wanted.
What rooms?
And I heard about the rooms.
They're what?
Like the orgy rooms.
Oh, no, I've never heard of anything like that. I've heard of the Dock, which is like one of the oldest, most famous cruising spots in like the world. But
Mm-hmm.
I think US coastal towns have this like, I don't know, it's like between P Town and San Francisco, like they're really like historically gay centers, and I don't know if it has anything to do with like sailors or pirates or maybe both. I like to think pirates. Pirates are cooler.
Basically, everybody's horny in the summer at the beach. So
It's true. That as well.
and then also there's like a semi-nude beach, and I only say semi-nude because I guess you're not supposed to be like nude on it. So when we went, there were like a lot of random people like laying out nude. And then every time like a patrol will come by, like everybody will quickly put on their swimming pants back on and then take it back off when they leave. I thought that was really funny.
Which is, yeah, I totally forgot about that. That's true. That did happen when we were there. Unfortunately, not very many like good food options here, though.
Yeah, one of my friends asked me like, "I'm going to P-Town. What do you recommend for food?" And I told her, well, it's a lot of mostly like it's a lot of new American, but like catered towards tourists.
Mm-hmm.
But there are like a lot of like seafood happy hour specials that I've noticed,
Mm-hmm.
like those like dollar oysters that we got that one time.
Yep. Oysters at the Red Inn. I think that's where we went.
Hmm.
I mean, this is not just like my own opinion. This is like me speaking to locals as far as like what food options there are. And a lot of the people that even live here full time will tell us that it's like, well, people here don't really have to try because it is such a popular tourist spot. So they just go with what is safe, what is popular for people that are just here for a couple days. And what that ends up is like a lot of like fried oysters, lobster rolls, that kind of thing. But then like once you really get into it and you get to know the people that are around here, realize that like the lobsters aren't local. They're all shipped and frozen from Canada or something because the fishing industry is awful and terrible, and it's not a very positive outlook for the people that live here, environmentally speaking. Everybody here is kind of like just acknowledge the fact that like, oh, if you like seafood, we will probably be like the last generation of people to like enjoy it because the oceans are dying. And I was like, oh, okay.
I mean,
well,
Earth in general is
Earth in
dying.
Earth in general is dying, but like I don't think a lot of people realize how precarious the ocean situation is. The fishing industry is bad, pollution is bad. Like we're about to have like no fish left.
No fish, no social security, no hope, no future.
No. Oh, look, we're spiraling again.
But back on a positive note. All right, so how many oyster like shooters do you think you could do?
I can't do that many. To be quite honest, oysters are fine. They're good. I actually prefer eating oysters. Like, remember when we were at that fancy Japanese restaurant and we got like the Hokkaido oyster?
Mm-hmm.
And they served it with soy sauce and like scallion?
Mm-hmm.
I like eating oysters as if they were sashimi. I do not like them in like the Western preparation with like Tabasco sauce or mignonette or like that. Like, I don't really eat oysters that way. If you gave me like some really good soy sauce and maybe some like crushed ginger or something like that, I could probably put away a lot. But like a classic oyster tray with what's that red sauce that they put on it?
Cocktail sauce?
Cocktail sauce? Yeah, I was like, I'll do one or two, but it's not my favorite.
Oh, for me, like if the oyster is good and fresh enough, like I don't actually need any sauce.
It tastes like the sea. Yeah.
I would just like shoot the whole thing just like on its own.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll put like a dollop of Tabasco, dollop of horseradish, just to like switch it up,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting how here in the States when we serve oysters, like they serve it in shells.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get like oysters in Korea, they give you like a huge bowl full already like shucked.
That is amazing.
So then all you have to do is just like eat the oysters, and then they serve it with like boiled pork and like some cabbage and some like pickles. Then you can make like a little wrap, which is delicious.
I did have this thought the other day where like I'd showed a video of myself eating like making fish soup, and the fish that I used was tilapia. And there were a lot of people in the comments that are saying like, ew, tilapia, like that's a garbage fish. But I had that thought. I was like, you might think, first of all, most tilapia that you get in the States now is not garbage fish. They're like raised in clean situations, and they're raised in like, well, not farms are not clean, but they're cleaner than like the garbage that they used to get tilapia out of. But at the same time, it's like, you're probably the type of person that would eat an oyster, which is literally just like ocean filter. Like, it is literally like they stand there and they filter out poop their entire life. And that's it. Poop goes in, poop goes out, and that's the life of an oyster.
Like us American are like really like particular breeds, you know? Like
Yeah.
we'll eat like a hot dog full of like chemicals, drink like a soda full of like, or drink like Red Bull, which like, you know, is so bad for you, like full of chemicals, and then be like, oh, tilapia.
Knowing what I do about oysters and mussels and clams and stuff, I'm not going to stop eating it. But that's the fact of the situation. So I'm actually here for an artist residency. And I have a showcase and a cooking demo that I have to do at the end of it. And I am going to use some forage stuff that I found, because there's a lot, this time of year, there's a lot of stuff that grows out. There are a lot of noxious weeds that grow in this area, like Japanese knotweed and garlic, mustard greens, and they're delicious. You can eat them, you can cook them. They're just bad for the environment, so I'm going to cut down. But I was talking about how some of the stuff was growing on alongside, like not a main road, but not like a completely desolate road. There are some cars every now and then, they were weirded out by it. And I don't think people realize, like, farms are also filthy. Like, when we talk about foraging in the city and people are like, ew, like there's pollution, there's dogs peeing on it. It was like, yes. And in a lot of farms, there's like tons of pollution too. You got like jet engines just like blowing shit and chemicals all over your lettuce greens. And you don't think like there are animals pooping on your lettuce greens in the farm? No, we just wash it off. It's totally fine.
Or like animal farms where like animals are so packed to the brim, you know, like wall to wall, that they're just like shitting on themselves and staying in this place.
They're disgusting. You know? Like, people, if you ever go into a chicken farm, or you ever like smell a factory chicken farm, you can smell them from a mile, because it all just smells like ammonia.
And even then, that's like a sustainable chicken farm. It's not one with like chicken farm with like overgrown like
mutant chickens,
like genetically like mutated chickens where like the breast is like so huge and
they're so big that they can't even walk. It's wild. Yeah. Those ones are crazy. But people just don't realize, like, you know, nature's gross, and we eat that.
I mean, well, humans are gross. You know what I mean? Like,
we are gross.
Like, people will eat ass, and then they'll complain about like,
is this gluten free?
They'll complain about like their airplane seat being dusty. You know?
Yes. Oh my god.
And it's like, no, so you literally just lick someone like where like their poop comes out of. You know? And yet you're complaining about like a little dusty like seat.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, so pick your battles, you know?
So real.
I was watching this new K-drama on Netflix called Good Mother, Bad Mother. And the main character is a pig farmer. She talks about like pigs a lot, and about like how pigs are like actually a really clean creature, and they always like poop and pee in like same spot, and then they like roll around the mud to kill like the bugs that's on themselves. But because humans have like trapped them like and wouldn't let them move, then they like end up becoming like angrier, and then they have to like roll in their own poop to kill the parasites, as opposed to like rolling in the mud.
I mean, it's true, but it's also like, it's sad.
And also, did you know that pigs physically cannot look up to the sky?
Yeah, what was that like TikTok trend where like people were like turning tiny pigs and like turning them towards the sky, and
yes,
they were like
the only time
freaking out.
Can ever see the sky is when they fall on their back.
Oh my god! Because of the way that their face is shaped, it just heads on the ground.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my god! After seeing all this and seeing all the cute pigs, I don't know if I could eat a bacon today.
Today. I've got pancetta in the fridge.
But it is a good drama if you want to see it.
The last a Korean movie that I saw that was kind of like that was Okja.
You're going to say Parasite, aren't you?
Not Parasite. Okja.
Oh, all right.
Okja was so good.
Okja was really good. Also, so sad.
I know. I know. It apparently made him go vegan, right? Bong said like I went vegan after filming that.
Koreans like just know how to make you sad.
They do. They do. No, like the way that they really like Korean film just like really gets you in the emotions. Like it doesn't even
Mhm.
matter whether you understand the language or not. Like it's very effective storytelling. Very effective storytelling. But you
Like, you
know,
know me, I'm like normally like a heartless person, but like
hmm
watching K-drama and TV shows, like I'm like crying, like sobbing.
oh my gosh. Like you when you were watching
Pose.
or I will never forget like coming back to your apartment after partying that whole weekend and then you were watching Pose and you were just like looking at me sobbing.
Well, if you want to have a good cry, watch Good Mother, Bad Mother on Netflix.
Hmm.
So this one, so the lady, she marries a guy who works at a pit farm, and then the husband gets killed by like the mob. So then she becomes like a single mother, and then has to like raise his farm, and then raise a kid on his own. So then she wants the kid to grow up to be like a judge or like a prosecutor or something. So then she's like really hard with him, like really strict. So then he grows up resenting her. But then when he finally becomes a lawyer, he gets in a car accident, and then it's like he becomes like a 7-year-old all over again,
Oh, like mentally?
mentally. Yeah.
Oh.
So then the mom has to take care of her 75 son again, but it's like starting new over like a
Oh, so it's like does she see it as like a second chance or something like that?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really sad, but also like really heartwarming. But then also there's like other plot twists and turns.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's really well acted.
Mm.
I don't know why I'm like pushing this drama like that. I'm not even paying.
Are you have you eaten anything interesting recently?
Here in LA, there is a place called Hermano's Empanadas. I don't know if you ever see me like post about them on Instagram. Um,
Mm-mm.
I'm not sponsored by them, I'm not paid by them, but like it's this guy. His name is Jose, and he makes the best empanadas that I've ever tasted.
Really?
And you know, like I've been around the world. I've eaten quite a lot of empanadas all over, and I have my empanada spot in Chicago. But here, when I came to LA, like a lot of the empanadas I've tasted, even in restaurants, were like really mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I saw my foodie friends like post about like this empanada place. So I messaged him and I like got an order, and these empanadas are so good. They're baked, or you can get them fried too, but I like them baked, and they're filled with either beef, chicken, or ham and corn and cheese.
Ooh.
But the crust is so flaky, and the beef has like hard boiled egg and it's seasoned really well. And they give you like a side of chimichurri sauce. And like as you bite into it, you get that
I
crunch,
can like
flaky
hear you
pastry shell.
salivating as you're talking about this. This is so it sounds so good.
And you can't get it at a restaurant. Their business is only through like Instagram, so you have to like message them on Hermanos underscore like empanadas to like place your order, and they deliver
Hmm.
all over LA. But it is worth every penny. These empanadas are like so good. I don't
Mm.
again. I don't know why I'm pushing these empanadas so hard, but they're just really, really, really
I
good.
mean, I do love a good empanada. What I've unfortunately, as we said, there's not much for food for P Town as of yet. Especially like a lot of things are closed from Monday through Thursday. So
Mhm.
we haven't had many options. But today I did have a really good bagel. Um oh god, what is the place
If you
called?
wanna, couldn't you take like yacht to Boston and then come back?
It's 2 hours.
It's probably too much work for you, isn't it?
I think I don't know. It's too far. It's too far and too long. But like let me see. What is the bagel place? The bagel place was called Bagel Hound, and they're open on Thursday through Sunday. And it was actually pretty good. My bagel was like 3 minutes old because I was there right in the morning and I had it with scallion schmear. Um,
Oh, did they
mhm,
load up on the schmear?
It was like a thick layer of schmear. And then the best place for coffee that I've been to a couple of places for coffee, but Kohi, Kohi Coffee Company in in Provincetown is probably like my favorite one. They do a good pour over and they've got like good baked goods and stuff. But apart from that, I mean, you know, I had fried oysters at Max's seafood place and that
Mhm.
was pretty good. But then the rest of them, like Lobster Pot and stuff like that, like there's all touristy stuff. Remember when we went to Lobster Pot that one time?
Yes. Yeah.
And the only reason why we went in was because it was like
It
raining
was
so
raining. Yeah.
hard. It
Like, it
was
was like
raining
a
so
like torrential downpour.
Yes,
Torrential
like the
downpour.
rain.
Torrential downpour. I can't even
I
speak English anymore.
the water was like rushing by my like I was like probably shin deep in water, and their door was open, and we just ran in, and then I
Yep.
think we had some like I think we were like, well, then we might as well eat here. I had like a lobster pasta or something like that, and it was
I
like,
think we split like some like a lobster thing and like a chowder.
yeah, like you're the classic things that you would order, but like you know their chowder
Mhm.
probably comes from a bag, and
No, I feel like they will probably make their chowder.
no, it's
No.
not made on site. At least somebody told me that they saw like a bag of chowder being wheeled into.
Um.
So if it is, it's still
Ooh.
like good. Well, it doesn't have to be made on site to be good. Let's just get that out of the way.
That's
It is an
true.
old
I mean, it's
restaurant.
basically like what, like roux and cream
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all this
And
stuff thrown
so, yeah,
together.
it was, I remember the experience was like fine, but
Yeah, it wasn't like
I think,
notable.
yeah, but the fact that we were in there and like the restaurant itself was pretty much on stilts on the water and we were there
Mhm.
through like the rainstorm, we thought we were going to get swept away. Like that made it exciting.
Honestly, the best meal we had in Piton was when we went over to our friend Josh and Eric's little house,
Oh,
and then they made us
yeah.
dinner.
They
That was
did
probably the
that.
best dinner we had in Piton.
Yeah. That cute little house. We biked there. It was such a great
Mhm.
experience.
And you know, like our friend Eric, he he's like really humble about it, but he's actually like a phenomenal cook.
Yeah.
And you know, like he does like simple things really, really well too.
Hmm.
I feel like
I remember that tart that he made you for your
mhm,
birthday. I think it was your birthday or something.
to me, he's like my gay Ina Garten.
Yeah, he could do it if he wanted to. Like that could be like his thing.
Yeah, but he's like too like shy and meek about it, you
Hmm.
know. But
Hmm.
anyways, and when he just like does like an antipasto, you know, like oh, he's like, oh, I just threw this together, but then you see this
It's
like giant platter of all these like beautiful
fantastic.
vegetables, like laid beautifully, like cut perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Josh and Eric are of Pigeon Doll fame. If you don't follow them,
hmm They're phenomenal.
Mhm.
Yeah, they make fashion dolls,
And they were
they're
just
probably like
weren't they
the
just
best looking
like in
dolls.
a Saweetie? Was it Saweetie and Cardi B or
Yeah.
Ice? I
Oh,
can't remember.
Ice. What's their name?
I want to say Ice Spice, but I
Oh,
know
no,
it's
the
wrong.
boys and lion. The boys and
Yeah, yeah, right.
y'all know who we're talking about, right?
I don't know. Now we're old. We're not with it anymore.
We are no longer hip.
Uh,
And then I remember also the late night option for Piton was just like
Pizza.
pizza, and I feel like there were like rice balls at some point.
There was a place called like Kung Fu Dumpling. We had dumplings, I think, and they were like,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you did like a pop up in the summertime, do you think it'll do well?
Only if it's Bear Week.
But imagine like if you did like a seafood dumpling.
I mean, if I did a pop up, it would have to be during Bear Week because that's when people that actually eat are here. And
But
I actually,
everybody likes dumplings.
yeah, everybody does like dumplings, and they're just like again the places that are established here, like they don't really have to try that hard to be
Mm.
successful, so they don't. Like I would totally do something like a short residency here. But again, having a kitchen, the rent and the labor is just like not really all that worth it. It would have to be for like a good cause, or maybe like a tour or something like that. That would work. I would do that. Monet is actually going to be here.
Really? Oh, Monet's everywhere.
Monet is. She do be everywhere. She's here in June. I saw her poster.
Yeah, her comedy show. I really want to see it, but she hasn't done like an LA date yet. So
I don't think she's doing one, or she hasn't done one in Detroit.
Avoiding Michigan like a plague.
I mean, they did cancel. Work the World isn't coming to Michigan.
Oh, I don't make these decisions.
Looking at you, Kim, you could tell them. You could tell them.
And no, we good. I mean, a lot of it has to do with like the tour route and like the theater availabilities. You know?
Yeah, they're choosing to go to Windsor, Ontario, instead of Detroit this year, which I don't know why, but maybe there are just more people in Canada that want to see it than people in the Michigan or the Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, shall we take a quick break?
Yes, let's take a little break. We'll be right back. And we're back, and apparently during the break, Kim got some damn empanadas. I can't believe. I'm so jealous because I am so hungry right now.
Let me. You're just gonna
eat them while we're. Oh, Kim.
Oh, baby, baby. Let me show you.
Oh my God! Holy crap! How many of those are there?
I don't know, but I'm definitely sharing with people that are in LA.
Oh no! Oh, that is. Oh my God! That looks so good.
That flaky golden crust. Let me have a bite.
Tears. I am in tears right now. Okay, that's a little. That's a lot. Is that the beef one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that looks amazing.
It's got peppers, egg, olive.
I definitely will have to like get something to eat after this because that is.
And then here's your house-made chimichurri.
I think I've had that before. That was really good. I love how this is has this just turned into like a mukbang for me. See, this is one of those situations where it's like, oh, we should probably be doing like a video podcast.
Totally. Oh my God. So good. I'll finish this and then get right back to podcasting.
Okay, great. We'll just wait here.
All the good that LA has to offer.
I mean, the food is like the thing that saves it for me, but I could do without the rest of it. Did you see that whole like huge building development that they're gonna do in LA, like in Hollywood and downtown LA, like hundreds of thousands of new housing units that they're gonna build?
No, tell me about it.
No, well, that's all. I saw that on LA Magazine on their Instagram, and they were like, literally, like they're building like huge apartment complexes in downtown LA and just increasing the housing, and also in Hollywood. And it's like the first time in like, I don't know, since like the 70s or the 80s that they're actually doing anything about like putting more housing in. I don't understand what the deal with like why more people like. Why is it so hard to get shit built over there?
I don't know.
She literally just ate an entire empanada while on the podcast.
I know there's like a lot of places that they can't like build stuff on because of the earthquakes and.
Oh, that's true. I totally forgot you have earthquakes.
That's why a lot of these like LA homes have like a basement, and
Yeah. Interesting. I still like, for all the times that I've been to LA, I've never, knock on wood, I don't ever want to, but suffer through an earthquake.
I've
Have
only
you?
experienced one big one. It was during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was shaking and like things were like falling off the wall. It's kind of like scary to be in one, but then also kind of like cool too, because like growing up in the Midwest, I never got to experience earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure for people here, it's like everybody keeps saying
Whatever.
like LA's due for a huge earthquake soon. We didn't know when it's going to happen, but
They've been
it's going to
saying that for
happen.
like 100 years or something like that. Well, not
You
100 years, but they've been saying that forever. Like LA's due for a big one, where it's just like, at this point, I think like people have lived their entire lives, born, lived, and died in LA, waiting for the big one.
it's like an urban legend at this point. The big
Right.
earthquake.
Right. I mean, knock on wood and hope that it never happens, because how much would it suck would it happen? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's just one thing I love about like Michigan. It was like, okay, so we get cold. That's it. And
Frozen.
I'm okay with that. I'm
Yeah, because
okay
you
with
don't leave
that.
your home.
I know. And it's warm and cozy. And when I do leave my home, it's like an hour before my flight leaves, because it's really easy for me to get to the airport. That's like what I tell people. Like, that's like what I love about like where I live. Like, I have a beautiful home and I can leave 1 hour before my flight departs.
The life.
The life, and lots of parks and beautiful nature and like outside during the summer. But otherwise, I'm a cozy girl.
What about friends? Do you have a lot of friends in Detroit?
I don't know. A lot of them have moved. A lot of them have moved to Orlando.
You mean a warmer state?
A warmer state, but still like,
Imagine that,
I
leaving the
just
cold
I
Michigan for a warmer climate.
I don't know. I think being warm is overrated. Like right now, it's like nice, but I'm also in like Cape Cod, so like it gets cold out here too. But like being warm year round I think it's overrated.
Yeah, I just really hate this 64-degree weather. Nice and sunny here in LA.
Yeah, okay. So LA's got wonderful weather to be outside, but nobody's walking anywhere. You're spending your time inside.
I mean, you
in
could walk.
cars.
It's all personal choice.
Okay. It's not a choice. I've tried walking in LA, and you hear horror stories about like New Yorkers who move to LA and refuse to get a car for like the first 10 minutes that they live there, and they end up like trying to walk somewhere, and they're like end up getting on the highway or something.
Oh yes, oh yes. It's part of the culture. The culture shock. The culture
Yeah.
shock of it all.
Yeah. I just don't value like spending time in a car enough to like deal with it. But I do like to visit, and I like to eat there when I'm there. So,
Honestly, the food
mhm,
here is phenomenal. But I'm sure
mhm.
you've heard us talking about LA food in a lot of the other podcasts.
We have.
So
And
let's
now in
focus
this
on.
podcast, we hear you eating the LA food. So,
But let's focus on the other food,
well,
the
we should
food
be
that Detroit
traveling more.
has to offer.
Do you like remember when before we started the podcast? Before we started the podcast, we were going to make a trip to a place where they had In and Out, Shake Shack, and I think it was like In and Out, Shake Shack, and Whataburger in the same like city,
Oh
so that we
yeah.
could like do a side by side comparison, and like a fair comparison where it's like
Mhm.
you literally get takeout, everything is still warm, and we're eating it like fresh right then and there. And I
Mhm.
think the place that I think Oregon is the city that has everything, but
Oh.
it also cannot be like what's it called? It also cannot be a headquarters a headquarters state for like the two biggest. I think
Yes.
said this on Twitter. It can't be a headquarters for like the biggest burger places, and then we'll do a side by side comparison. I
Yes.
heard Shake Shack has a very good
Veggie
veggie
burger,
burger.
right?
Yeah, I heard their veggie burger is really good, and I'm inclined to believe it because I don't actually like their regular burger all that much.
Yeah, I see everybody on social media raving about the veggie burger. Like, it actually tastes like actual veggies. I would like to
Which I'm
taste it.
down for. Like, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. Shake Shack, like, I don't mind it. Like, they're perfectly good burgers, But, given the other options, like, would I go out of my way to, like, eat it? Well, I don't know.
I did, when I was in Hong Kong, I did have the best dessert from a chain restaurant at the Shake Shack there. I don't know if I had said this on the podcast before, but it was like a black sesame ice cream with boba and like brown sugar, like cookie bits and stuff. It was not too sweet, but everything that was in there was like texturally just really good. And it was at the Shake Shack and Pacific Place. And I forget what it's actually called, but it was like an soft serve ice cream with boba, and it was black sesame flavored. It was, and like I think it was like brown sugar cookie crumbles on top. It was so good. It was so good. Most memorable thing I ate in Hong Kong that trip, actually.
Really? Of all the amazing food that Hong Kong has to offer?
Like, yeah, of all the, because like, when I go to Hong Kong, I have like my greatest hits and stuff, and like, I go to the, but because like that was the one new thing that I tried, I remembered it. Yeah.
There was one time Shake Shack burger really hit. Like, I got into New York, and then I had to get ready like for the gig right away. And then after the gig, there weren't that many like places to eat, and I had to like fly out like the first flight the next day. So like I didn't eat anything at like 24 hours at that point. And then I went to JFK, and the Shake Shack was open. And aside from like their breakfast burgers, so when you go to the airport in the morning, every single place all serve the same thing, and I do not want any of it. It's always like hard egg with like bacon sausage between bun with some like cheese.
Yeah.
And the entire airport smells like that, and that's just like the last thing I want.
Not appetizing at all.
But turns out Shake Shack was like serving their like regular burgers during breakfast hours too. So I was like, all right, finally something that's not like an overcooked egg with cheese.
Yeah.
So then I got the Shack burger, and it was pretty good. Mostly because I was like starving, but
yeah, I still try to fly out in the mornings, and like the only thing that I would get at an airport would be like Popeyes, but they're never. I don't think they open till like 11 or something. And I still have not tried their strawberry biscuit. I hear it's good.
Oh yeah, the strawberry biscuit I haven't tried either.
I hear like there's a hack, like you're supposed to like try the strawberry biscuit with like honey or ice cream or jam or something like that, and it's supposed to be like really good.
Does Popeyes even serve ice cream? Or you have to like buy the biscuit and then go buy ice cream and eat it together?
Maybe.
That seems like a lot of work. That sounds like a very like suburban thing to do.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Because like, what other desserts does Popeyes have? They have their cake. Do they do cake? Is that right?
No, I think they do like a fried pie.
Oh,
like the fried apple pie.
Oh.
And at some point they had chocolate beignets. I don't know if they still like do them or not.
I really don't think Popeye does like. I don't think to get dessert when I'm getting Popeyes. I'd rather just get like painfully full on chicken.
Yeah. My Popeyes order is usually like the same. If I'm at an airport, then I'll get chicken tenders. But if I'm not at an airport, I'll get like a 2-piece meal with.
That's it.
I said with. I haven't finished. With a side of like rice and beans or the dirty like the Cajun rice. And they recently upgraded their mac and cheese. So it used to be that like the cafeteria mac and cheese where it was like really watery and like runny, but they upgraded to like a home style mac and cheese.
Oh no shit!
So you actually get like the caramelized cheese on top, and it's actually like really cheesy and ooey gooey. It's probably like the best mac and cheese you can get from fast food.
Ooh!
And I was like shocked at the quality.
I am definitely gonna try that on my way home.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing. I'm totally gonna try that because my go-to Popeyes order is it depends. If I want sides, I'll probably get like a 4-piece and then a side. But it's it's always going to be the rice and beans. Until now. I'll try the mac and cheese now. But then otherwise, like, I'll just eat an 8-piece chicken. Just have just the chicken.
For me, like, I like to eat everything separately. So I like to eat the chicken, and then I like to eat the side dishes. Just so I can taste all the ingredients separately. For some reason, like the trend on like social
Wait, who
media
eats it
is like,
together?
oh, this is like my Popeyes hack, and then they'll take like a piece of Popeyes and then like pile it with mac and cheese and like pour like 3 different types of sauce on it and like top it with fries and then eat it all in one bite. And I'm like, can you even
They eat
taste anything at
Popeyes
that
like it's a
point?
rice bowl.
I feel like that's how like all these like fast food hacks are, just like piling all the sauce and ingredients on top of each other and eating all in one bite.
Yeah, no.
And I don't know, that's not the way I personally like to eat. I mean, if you want to do that, like you do you.
It just seems like a lot of work.
A lot of work, really messy,
Yeah.
and also like, what is the payoff? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're making like a biscuit well, no, if you're eating anything with that biscuit, it's just going to suck all the moisture out of there. You can't have that biscuit with anything besides like a drink.
Yeah, the Popeyes biscuit is
Building material.
I don't know why when I was younger I thought they were the best biscuit ever, but
Drywall.
it's not.
It's not. Red Lobster has the best chain biscuits, I think.
That's like a different level though.
Is it?
Like I wouldn't put those biscuits in the same like category as like the fast food biscuits, you know?
I mean, they're both like pre-made, heat up in a...
Yeah, but I mean like Red Lobster is not like something you get at a drive-through, you know?
That's true. I mean, Red Lobster biscuits could be something that you can get at a drive-through.
I should be, yeah.
God, those biscuits are good.
Surprisingly, like if they're fresh, KFC's biscuits like hit really well.
Really? I don't think I...
Only if they're fresh.
I've never had them fresh.
Half the time, like they've been like sitting there for hours, so like they're like dry. And but one time I got them when they were like hot, like right off the oven, and they were really good.
Interesting.
But those times are like really like rare.
They should have like a sign like Krispy Kreme does.
You probably have the best chance like going to like KFC during like peak times when there's like people lined out.
Yeah. Like during dinner, before the dinner rush.
Yeah. Any like fast food chicken place always go during peak time.
Yeah.
When they're like constantly making new stuff instead of like.
Yeah, but I just don't want to wait. I don't.
Yeah, but I would wait for fresher chicken and biscuits.
It's true.
It's like, I'm already like wasting calories eating this junk food. And if I'm going to eat it, I might as well like eat like the best version of it.
I think we've talked about our favorite fried chicken chain before.
Jollibee.
Yeah, we had a whole fried chicken episode.
Yeah.
And I think Jollibee won.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jollibee spicy will always win.
Yeah.
They're starting to put more of those around America.
I know there's one in Michigan, but it's like still too far for me to try it or to go.
At least in Michigan, you have Culver's,
Gus's,
and White Castle.
I do like White Castle.
I do like White Castle too, and they don't have them here in like LA.
They are. I mean, like steam burger, whatever, jalapeno cheese. Like White Castle for me is like is after the after party. Like that's what I associate White Castle with. It's 5 a.m. We just got out of afters. White Castle is open. Let's get like a crave case and some chicken rings.
Yes, I don't know who you are, but if someone is throwing a party and you show up with a crave case, you are the hero of that party.
Hero. Absolutely, 100%. Nobody's mad at that. And I think they have Impossible Burger now too.
They do.
So you can even help the vegans out. Show up with a vegan crave case. I totally would do that.
Like, yeah, if I'm throwing a party and you bring a crave case, like you're getting your ass ate by someone. Not me, but someone.
Right. Oh, well, anyways, on that note, I actually have to get going because I have to go to a reception for my artist group, I think.
Really?
Yeah. It started like 20 minutes ago.
Before you go.
Yeah.
Tell me about your day.
I just said I have to go, Kim.
What do you have to do today? What are you going to do at this?
I'll tell you about it afterwards. I'll tell you about it afterwards.
I want to hear it now.
I still have to get ready for this. You see me right now. I'm not.
Yeah, you're more than ready.
No, I'm not.
You look how you always look when you go out.
Wow. That's hurtful.
Your hair is actually the best hair I've seen.
Hurtful and unnecessary.
I'm just being truthful. Your hair looks great.
Can you talk us out, please?
So, anyways, thank you so much
Oh my
for
God, Kim.
tuning into another episode of One for the Table. I guess John is in a rush to go somewhere, so we have to end this episode a little bit earlier than we normally would.
This
Bye.
is still a 50-minute episode, Kim.
I don't care, but don't worry. If you like what you heard today, please share, like, subscribe.
You can't see her, but she is so
Tell
happy
your
right
friends.
now.
And don't be a hater. Because why? Why, John?
What do you mean, why?
Because we don't like haters.
Thank you for listening. Good night, everybody.
Oh, wait,
Have a great week.
before you go,
What? What?
I just want to take this time to tell our listeners.
God. Good. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much.